If you're poor, I want you to cheat. Because the truth is, no one's ever gotten rich by playing. On one hand, I have been homeless, stealing from grocery stores, and on the other, I've built an 8-figure business and made myself a cozy little YouTube account and crashed into a 2-year-long depression where I almost drank myself into a chalk outline. By the end of this video, you're not only going to understand what the rich would never want to tell you, what I've discovered along the way, you'll know the truth, you'll know how to sell the lie, and you'll stop feeling bad for it. Strap in, please, like the video. Let's get serious. 1, happiness doesn't increase with income unless you don't make $75,000 a year, and then it's paramount to your happiness. There was a study done on happiness and money in 2010, and what everybody wants to focus on, because they want to virtue signal on YouTube, is that after about $75,000 a year, your return on investment starts to decline the more money that you make. After about $200,000 a year, it could be negligible. Because someone like me would want to tell you, oh, money doesn't buy you happiness. Money isn't everything, because that would make me look like less of an egotistical asshole, wouldn't it? Makes me more relatable. But the truth is, when I was poor, it fucking sucked. And when you're poor, it sucks. It sucks to be hungry. It sucks to steal from grocery stores. It sucks to have shame because everyone else around you has it figured out somehow, even though they don't fucking have it figured out. But you know that, don't you? You know they're just a little bit ahead of you, and all that matters is they can look down on you. They are an arm's reach away, and they're still just looking down on you. Their $65,000 a year looks so good next to your 42. And not to be overly vulgar, but that is the most pathetic dick measuring contest I've ever seen in my life. And you know what happens when people have money and they get it? They think that this matters. That measuring stick of how much money do you make, it looks really crass to the people who've made money for a long time. And that's why people like me might echo back and go, oh my God, if I want these rich people to like me, I have to start acting esoteric and altruistic and start saying that money doesn't buy happiness. Because I want to be in the group. Having money wasn't enough. They still won't let you in once you have it.
A year's salary right here. What I call them? Fun coupons. See that?
Still won't let you in once you have it. A guy named Aaron James did a really good piece on assholes. It's not narcissists or sadists, but it's the people who are willing to be unliked that end up living a long, happy life. They say that assholes live forever because you're not under loads of chronic stress living for everybody else the whole time. You're finally doing what aligns with you. And that's the core of burnout. If you do something that is not for you 10 hours a day, you will grind your soul into the ground. The moment that you self-advocate and start saying no is the moment that you open up everything.
Which means we need to make the math lighter. A lot lighter.
Your whole future unlocks because you're not too tired for your blessings. And there's going to be a truth about blessings here later in the video because I think that's a little too fatalistic. And you might agree with me. If you don't agree with me, please just let me tell you what I think. You might change your mind. And the studies show it's not just about being an asshole. It's about being clear and being assertive. People like people that they can trust. And you know what? Someone who's really straightforward about what their desires are is pretty trustworthy. If you don't know what somebody wants out of life, you don't know if you can trust them. What are they up to? The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene says that you should conceal your intentions. But he goes deeper in that chapter. You need to give people a false sense of control, like they know what your intentions are. You should conceal your true ones, but you need a decoy. And people trust people that they think they have figured out. People trust people that they can control. And what do you think the rich people do? How do you think they get rich? They get rich through control. Let's talk about that. Getting rich is like the Hunger Games. They sell you that it's fair. They sell you that it's consensual or whatever, but everybody knows the game is rigged, and we still choose to play it anyway. Because first, if you don't play, you're gonna go homeless. But second, just enough people win that it keeps us hopeful that if we play this terribly insane losing game, that maybe we might make it against all odds, because that would be worth it. When people are stressed, they gamble more. People will take the long shot risk of making it when they're stressed. People who have enough and are thinking clearly don't make those kind of bets. Why risk everything for a long shot chance of getting better? It is the pressure that they put us under that makes us willing to take the risk to get into capitalism to maybe make it. Because what else are we going to do? Clock out and be homeless? No, there's too much shame in that. There's a complex series of levers that keep us in this game. Let's unwind them all. But first, I want you to understand something. The rich, they don't live in your world. They don't play by your rules. They don't ask the same questions as you. They don't have the same desires, fears, problems every day. They do not believe that money's scarce. They see money as a tool, and they don't see any morality in the use of it. But how did they get there, to this point where they can seem almost sociopathic in the way that they make their money? There's actually a truth to this. It's not about the money, it's about the indoctrination. Think about this. You grew up in a structure that their parents created. You grew up believing or assuming that all of it was real, but they know what parts are fake. Any of you who are business owners, please, for the people who've never been there, in the comments right now, confess. How much of what we do is bullshit? How much of it is a false sense of control, a false sense of preparedness, so our employees don't rise up and compete with us? Some of you business owners know that threat, that somebody could just leave and steal your business if they knew just one other thing. When I was homeless, I met a man who was the architect for all of the hospitals for Methodist in Houston, and he told me that he learned in Austin's School of Business, whatever, I think it's McCombs, that they teach you to separate business into 3 parts. You've got sales, operations, and finance. If any two come together, they could have enough power to start to overthrow you. But if you intermingle those 3, you're asking for trouble. The moment that a sales guy gets with a finance guy, gets with an operations guy, all 3 of them can put you out of business. Those are the main major parts. And many of us small business owners learn this the hard way. We still can't even vocalize that this is why we lose employees and people become business owners in our stead. So let's back it out. This is such a big threat existentially that the whole education system is built around this. The system is not neutral. It is built to teach obedience because it's the obedience that scales. Employee churn is one of the largest risk factors for any large company. Losing too much staff too fast, you implode and you go out. So of course, everything that you've ever been told to chase is just to keep you busy. Promotions, recognition, stability, supporting the girl that you think is pretty, getting her to text you back because you bought the right car and have a curated Instagram. All of that is to keep you busy and distracted. If you want that, then you're not coming after my business and I'm safe because I punked you into wanting some girl on Instagram that you're never going to meet. That's how I stay in business. And once you're here, enforcement is minimal. I don't have to do anything to keep you on that track. It's all hormonal now. At some point, people stop testing the boundaries. They settle into the cage. And then this is the heart of leverage, my friends. This is all controlled indirectly, mostly hands off. Fear of loss, fear of shame, all the things where you don't want to fail so you don't take the risk, that's planted there too. So that way I don't have to manage you. I can have what's called scope of control. I can manage 10 people instead of 1 because I don't have to look to see if you're going to leave. Because I know you're scared to leave. I know all 10 of you are scared to leave and boom, I have leverage. My friends, really, that's the whole game. And you're stuck in it unless you learn to break out of it. Unless you're willing to break out of it. Because you might already know what I'm telling you. But man, you just feel in your gut, it's so scary, right? To go solo, to go rogue, to start your own business. To really take that risk and fail in front of everybody you know. Because they would go, ha ha, you are a loser. I told you to play it safe. Why didn't you stay in little farm town of Wisconsin like everybody else here and let's all die together? And even at the micro level, this can all exist in a little ecosphere like farm town Wisconsin. It's not the money that makes you powerful. It's being indispensable or irreplaceable. It's being relied upon. That's why the book Linchpin was written. Because you can become irreplaceable inside of an organization. And that's when you rocket to the top. That's what vertical mobility is. People at the ground see things better than people at the top. And this is one thing that you can take advantage of if you want to stay in corporate America. Learn to translate what you see at the bottom up to the top in a way that you don't hand off that insight. You want to be the rain. And that way you can get past middle management's ego trip and you can get to the C-level. You need to find a way to feed them the data or the results that they can't get through systems. Remember, systems scale. And once you're part of a system, you are infinitely replaceable. Like Airbnb. Hosts quit every day. That's my sandbox. I think 60,000 listings self-deleted just in the last quarter because hosts are done with Airbnb. That or they migrate to VRBO or whatever. But all drama aside, Airbnb knows hosts are going to quit. Airbnb knows guests are going to quit. Now that they have millions of listings, it's all part of the churn. You cannot be linchpin if you're one of a million. You need to be one in a million. And if you think this part speaks to you, you want to dig deeper, I want to promise you something. Every business you've ever worked for had it half-assed together as they showed you. Every company has pressure points. Every company has threats. Every company is in an ever-changing landscape with the internet and social media, new competitors, new technology, new regulations. There's something called a SWOT analysis, S-W-O-T. I did a video on that 7 years ago, but gosh, it was a teeth pull, groaner, boring video. I'll maybe do one again with a little bit more spice. If you want to learn about the SWOT analysis or other business concepts that I can teach you from my 10 years of saving newspapers, put it down in the comments. I will absolutely teach you anything you want to know in business from the hardest industry ever created, print media. Oh, and polite ask for a subscribe. Are we there yet? Have I earned your subscribe yet? It would be great to have you on the channel. This is what I love to do, and it'd be great to have you. Thanks. Can I wink? There. As you may imagine by now, I've got some cool book recommendations for you and just some little cliff notes, a little TLDR. The 48 Laws of Power is full of Machiavellian tips. Pragmatic and nihilistic a little bit, sure, but if you want to make it in society and you're not so obsessed about the morality of every lover first, you want to learn them all and decide, what color crayons you want to play with, that is all good and I highly encourage that. Cliff notes, perception beats merit. Fear outlasts friendships, and if you want true power, it comes from withholding from people, not giving. If you can control stability, if you can control certainty, you can give that and take that away, then you have all the power. To be predictable, that you always give certainty, someone will leave you because they know you're a plan B now because you're 100%. But if someone relies upon you and you can kick that leg out at any time, they will always supplicate. Fun word, we'll rock the definition, supplicate. And back when I first learned sales, when I got out of homelessness, I learned from Robert Cialdini videos on YouTube, back at the birth of YouTube. There's 6 principles of influence. Please learn them all. We'll list the 6 so you can go hunt those down. And you can tell by my tone, another hot tip is charisma isn't necessarily likability. It's controlling attention. There are things called parasitic audiences that I've been learning about in the last week. Did you know that Andrew Tate went famous because of women? It's not that men were following his content. He was trying to say baller shit to men, but women were so mad at him that they started sharing and critiquing his stuff. Women made him go viral. They are parasitic. It wasn't the audience he intended, but they made him famous. And he wasn't likable to them, was he? But he was highly influential. And influence really is the heart of charisma. If you're good at influence, you can pick your flavor of ice cream. You can choose your tone. I could be likable one video and I could be an absolute troll in the next. And from the outside, if you never meet me again, maybe the fact that you're mad at my tone, you keep watching, that watch time goes to YouTube and I get more reach. Some people maybe like the nostalgic vibe from some of my old legacy Airbnb videos. Different people, The Art of Seduction teaches us, has different weaknesses. And yes, The Art of Seduction is another Robert Greene book. Seduction is just control with an air of consent. That's it. And I could give you an hour-long rant about Machiavelli or Nietzsche at this point. There are things that you're going to do to become rich or wealthy or stable or safe that would make your mother blush or cry if you take it that far. And that's why business feels like war, because honestly it is. Every gambit that you're learning here, the pressure, the withdrawal, the manipulation, the posturing and the smoke screens, all of this comes from a darker place. And use it wisely. Because outside of business, outside of this gladiatorial arena, this would just be abuse. Don't use this on the ones that you love or care about, ever. You have to swear that. We do not turn our friends into assets. We do not turn our friends into tools. We do not turn our friends into weapons. But in business, anything goes. This is a fighting pit. This is an arena that we all signed up to be here. We love this shit. We want to fight. We want to fight a little dirty. It makes us feel good. Don't confuse that with morality. This is a ring, not a church. And money is the scoreboard. And everything just short of killing is a legal strategy to acquire more of it. So now you know. But now you also should know where to draw the line. Never sell out your own family. Never manipulate somebody who doesn't want to play the game. If I was ever going to express regret for just 2 seconds in this video, it would be on the family side. And that's for a future video, I think. So thanks for being here, but stay tuned for that trauma dump. So let's give you the tools, my friends. Business is a pit. Endless weapons, endless games. The best fighters, they pick one weapon, they pick one game, and they master it. But they're always ready to adapt because, of course, we can't control what games we might have to play day to day, depending on the emperor that be. The recipe. I've made millions of dollars on Airbnb. I've made millions of dollars selling coaching. I've made millions of dollars saving newspapers. All of these were well-timed endeavors when the opportunity was most ripe and I was aligned to take that opportunity. Those are only 3 attempts. I've lost so much. I have failed so much, from day trading to starting tech companies to some marketing agency. I did the sign spinning thing too. Like, I've tried everything, my friends, and I've lost a lot of fights. Because sometimes it really is just being at the right place at the right time. And you know the truth? 90% of the factors that determine your success are truly out of your control. In a way, you could even argue that luck does exist. But this is the lie that no one wants to tell you, that even though 90% of things are outside of your control, the 10% that is as if you are 100% in control. You control how you show up to fight, how you swing your sword, how sharp your sword is. And the better you do with that 10%, the more exponential the favor comes when any of that 90% gives you any headwind at all. You can take it the farthest if you're most ready with that first 10%. And then, of course, we've got the concept of at-bats, which I love Gary Vaynerchuk for talking about.
And having regrets that you didn't swing the bat is the worst of them all.
If your 10% is on lock and you try and you try and you try, well, then 1 out of every 10 times you're at 100%, right? Statistical average. Get good at your 10% and get as many at-bats as you can. This is a TED Talk worthy topic, which is internal locus of control. You gain control first by controlling yourself, and then you gain control by controlling how other people engage you. So it could be anything. Stocks, Airbnb, sales. Pick your weapon, sharpen it. And when the fight comes, well, let's be real. The fight's already here. You've already been fighting it every day of your life. You're already fighting. Get used to it and learn to love it. Become the fighter that you were meant to be. And remove the morality from this. How do you think humans got here? Top of the food chain. I believe in you. That's why I'm info dumping you right now, and I want to see you succeed. If you have any questions that I can lend you as old wise man in business for 20 years, let me know what I can do to help. Thank you so much for supporting me in this video. It's cool to see you here at the end. And as always, I'll see you on the other side.